That kind of nerd. Let's start the show with comics, movies, and technology. Here we go, bringing you the segments that you're looking for, like Cape Talk, Screen to Stream, Tech Perspective, and more. Cast this nerd degree and the blockbuster. Welcome to the club, cause you're that kind of nerd.
Welcome everyone to That Kind of Nerds podcast, a weekly show that tells you what's going on in the nerdy world. I am CJ Mellon, joined by Joshua Burns and Brian Thornton.
What up?
So this entire episode's about sports, right? Because sports is back.
Sports is back.
Sports!
Sports is back, but also not back, but also back.
Baseball is like dangerously close to getting shut down.
Yeah, baseball's back. It's been out, and my Steelers tickets have gotten refunded, so that happened.
Oh, that's good news.
So since we're talking about things that are possible, not possible, let's move on to our first topic in a segment that we call Screen to Stream.
State of being and not being.
Yes, speaking of
It's Schrodinger's sports. Schrodinger's sports.
There we go.
They're happening, but they're not
So
happening.
speaking of impossible, Tom Cruise. We have some follow-up for my Tom Cruise topic here. Tom Cruise and Elon Musk have convinced Universal Pictures to give up $200 million for their full feature movie that they're going to shoot part of in space.
Good for them.
$200 million because Elon Musk is like, you can have SpaceX. Like,
Dude, it's Fast and Furious 11. Like,
I
good
want
for
that
them.
next. I want that next. But first, I want to see Tom Cruise do something in space, and then I want to see Fast
I
and
don't
Furious
think
in
you
space.
understand what I'm saying.
Oh, he's
Tom
in.
Cruise will be in Fast and Furious 11, and where do we go from here? Cars in space. It's perfect.
So you're saying this is a universe in which Vin Diesel and Tom Cruise are sharing the screen.
Yes. Ooh, wouldn't
Ludacris and Tom Cruise in the
Wouldn't
same
it be
movie.
great that Tom Cruise would be a Fast and Furious villain? If you could get Charlize Theron to be a Fast and Furious villain, you can get
If
Tom
you can
Cruise.
get Helen Mirren to be a Fast and Furious.
Helen Mirren. I mean, come on.
Those
like,
are Oscar winners. You're right.
it's got-
You can
they
get
are
Tom
Oscar
Cruise.
winners. It's got some, like, yeah, come on.
Put a little Scientology like subtext in there, but don't actually do anything real about it. Yeah, Tom Cruise will sign on for that.
This is absolutely
But I'm telling you guys, Tom Cruise is going to fucking space for a movie. He's doing it.
good for him.
Oh, okay, now we're good for him.
No, he's still an idiot. Dude, if he's off the planet, that's just one less thing for us to worry about in 2020.
Or Tom Cruise comes back with something from space, and who knows at that point? What does he bring back?
He brings back the alien from life.
This is how we get Venom. Right, I was just about to say, this is how we get Venom in life. This is how this real stuff comes in.
I'm fine with that. Good for them. They got their
They got
funding.
their money. But here's the thing.
I don't know why we needed funding between Tom Cruise and Elon Musk. Don't they make enough money to do this?
You think they could do it themselves? I'm sure there's some tax law or something.
Like, can't they self-fund it?
Well, that's the thing. $200 million. You know that's not for the entire movie. That's like a portion of this budget.
Watch me for like 10 minutes.
That's for the fuel. That's for the fuel.
Yeah, it's for nothing when it comes to space travel. So like the total cost, the total budget of this movie is going to be literally astronomical.
Maybe it's a Christopher Nolan movie.
Don't do that.
You know Chris Nolan would be down for that.
Yeah, I do. But Tom Cruise is like, I will do my own stunt. I will be in space. Are we cool with that? And Nolan's like, let's take one of the rarest IMAX cameras and put it in space, but don't break it this time. Don't break it this time.
Yeah, it'd be great. It's a recipe for success.
You know what? I'm down for that. Let's make
Coming to VOD soon.
Oh no, God, not for those
Because
two.
theaters are dead.
17 days after it's released in the theater.
All right. So the other topic I had here was going for Screen to Stream. Based off of this, Kevin Smith was doing his hour with Kevin Smith for Virtual Comic-Con, which I have thoughts and feelings on, but whatever. And he...
It wasn't terrible.
yeah, but it wasn't great either. I'm looking at our topic list, Brian, and I found one Comic-Con topic, and this is it. So he unveiled
Did you
the
watch the new trailer for...
I did. He unleashed his trailer for Kilroy Was Here. And
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, while this is very Kevin Smith, right? But at the same time, very not Kevin Smith. And I'm really intrigued.
It's not Kevin Smith. You know why?
Why?
This movie, he for the past like 2 years or something like that, he's been working with a college. I think
Yeah, he's in
I
the
forget
film
what
students,
college.
right? Yeah.
This is that film that he's been working on with the film students. So it's not him. It's a college project fueled by him.
Right. He Smodcast Films is help, but it has that Kevin Smith,
Of course it
tone
does.
to it,
And it
right?
also has
Jason
his daughter
Mewes
in it.
and-
So woo.
Ralph Garman,
Ralph
are all in it.
Garman, all
Right,
this other
all
stuff.
the
Yeah,
Smodcast
yeah, yeah.
people that you would want to see.
It looks fine. I'm fine. I'm down with it. I like Kevin Smith's stuff. I like what he does.
You know, I watched Jay and Silent Bob reboot. We talked about, hey, I liked it. It was clearly that homage movie that, hey, maybe he was going to die. Oh my God, he lived, and celebration kind of thing. I was curious what he would do afterwards. Not a fan of Yoga Hosers, but this looks
I enjoy
Better than
Yoga
this.
Hosers. Yoga Hosers is fun. And sometimes you just need a little stupid fun in your life. That's not named CJ.
that's very true. Josh, what do you think about the trailer?
It looks campy as hell. I mean, you know, it's a horror flick. It's Kevin Smith. I'll see it. I saw Red State, which I thought was excellent.
Right.
I love Red State.
And Red State was incredibly intense, really kind of start to finish. So, yeah, I'll give it a watch. There's going to be elements that are funny, and there's going to be elements that are stupid, and we'll see. We'll see what the story looks like.
Yeah, I do think it is really interesting, though, of fueling, film students and kids who are in college, kids, adults really that are in college, but are just trying to crack into the biz, and someone like him, setting the elevator down to bring them up and give them an opportunity. It's a very interesting kind of premise, and yeah, the visual effects aren't, fantastic, but who cares? It's a fun slasher kind of movie. It doesn't strike me as a horror kind of film where jump scares and punching people in the face kind of thing. Right, this is a little bit more slasher-esque, Scream kind of mentality. I'm in for it. I think it's pretty interesting.
When's it come out?
When does anything come out?
Well, I mean, even it's a Kevin Smith movie. It's not going to have a wide release. I would be surprised if it wasn't already slated to go straight to VOD. Kevin Smith, ever since Red State, doesn't do wide releases anymore. He
Right.
he does his road shows, which is currently impossible. So I would imagine he's just going to drop this online somewhere.
Early 2021, not a solid release date. He says that he's putting the final touches on Kilroy and will release it in early 2021. Because, right, he was working on Reboot when this was kind of happening. Now that Reboot's finished and the roadshow's done, he's putting his energy into Kilroy. I also know he's in talks to release his Mallrats sequel, and that he's...
I also know he just got signed on to do an animated version of the Green Hornet.
Oh, for real?
I just read that somewhere, yeah.
Well, yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff going on.
I mean, with
he's
quarantine...
got He-Man, which He-Man's got to be done by now. It's just probably being animated.
Yeah.
But he's a showrunner on He-Man. He's going to launch this Green Hornet animated show. His Howard the Duck thing fell through, unfortunately.
Right.
He's got this.
He
got Mallrats.
He wrote another thing called Twilight of the Mallrats. It's a script that he written in quarantine. So I know he's a busy dude right now, and he's one of these guys who's taking advantage of quarantine to like write shit, get creative.
Yeah, he's just writing like a madman.
Writing like Hamilton. Like he's running out of time every day and night, just running out of time.
You really want to bring up Hamilton right now?
Always. How about something I can bring up that may make you a little bit happy, Brian? There's reports by a very cryptic tweet, actually, that came from the official G4 handle that G4 may be coming back.
G4 died. How are they tweeting?
Well, they updated a video to their YouTube channel and even put out a tweet with the video. And it looks interesting. The title is "We Never Stop Playing." I am really curious what's going on, because I know this was something that died a horrible, slow, painful death. But
It didn't deserve it either.
No, it didn't.
You know what the problem with it was? They ended up showing cops for like 90% of their airtime.
That was because of the whole who bought, that they were purchased by another company, and that company wanted to do something different with it and trying to respond to Spike instead of letting G4 just be G4, right?
Yeah,
like we talked about studio interference with movies. This was interference as well. But I am very intrigued. I really became attached to G4, and as we know, this launched the career of Olivia Munn. Right, a lot of other personalities got their start on G4.
Chris Hardwick.
Yep, that empire that is now Chris Hardwick. It's just, I would love to see it again. It's something that is missing from mainstream TV, but also I'm curious because this is stuff where Twitch has filled this hole, where IGN has really stepped up more than they have. Like, there's so many other outlets that are now doing what G4 did because we miss G4 is there room for G4 to come back?
I don't know, man. Josh, you're better at business. What do you think?
Is there appetite for it? Really?
That's what CJ's saying. Like, I watch like about 3 YouTube channels that fill this hole in my heart.
Like, I'm trying to think what good came out of G4
Besides Olivia Munn.
But are you talking like stars or like, because Attack of the Show and X Play were top tier ways of not only getting entertainment and video game news out there, but they were well produced and they had great personality that matched the people that watched it, and it wasn't boring. It always had something interesting to watch. But the rest of the G4 network was like Ninja Warrior and other stuff. But
it's just it's two things that not only have I never watched, like I've only ever heard of Attack of the Show like once. I've never heard of X Play. So I don't know, man. I don't think there's mass appeal at all. Couldn't you fold those two things into something else rather than try to resurrect? Like, I mean, are they going to get any? Is this going to be like a YouTube Red thing, or is it going to be like an actual cable TV channel?
I don't know. I can tell you that G4 was a cable TV channel.
I remember that it was. Yes.
I mean, I think you can absolutely do this. It's just you got to have like a shit ton of content. Like, the thing that killed G4 was lack of content. And like, I enjoyed Ninja Warrior, but there was a lot of like filler and like dumb crap and stuff that like, so like you watched Attack of the Show at 8 and you watched X Play at 9 and then you were done.
Ninja Warrior if you wanted to, and that was about it. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, you got to have a crap ton of content.
Here's my thought on it. I think you can bring back an X Play and Attack of the Show as things that people would tune into, right? And then maybe start putting competitive gaming on it, like Overwatch and things like that. But I don't think this is something that you would put on cable. If anything, I think this is something you would bake into a like cable subscriber or some kind of streaming service. Put this on a Hulu. Put this on another service. Like, this is something that you would bake into one of these.
I don't know. If you bake it into something, it's just going to get lost in the content.
Yeah,
stuff like Hulu and Netflix and even Twitch. There's so much freaking content.
Yeah. Irrelevant content.
It'll just get lost.
I'll say this: if Attack of the Show was one of the things that made me want to do what we're doing right now, right? Watching them do this, I was like, that's my ultimate goal. I want one day to do something that has a flair of Attack of the Show. I just thought it was
Well, then what the hell are we waiting for? Call these mothers. Send them a resume.
As you will see from my resume.
The resume is 250 episodes.
You will see from my resume, guys. I have personality and I have hosting capabilities, right? Okay. Ignore the thing that says bread. That's my shopping list. I'm making a bread omelet later. It's delicious. I heard it on the podcast. I'll just say this. At the end of the day, I love G4. I think it was a little bit of... I don't think it was a little bit ahead of its time. It was ahead of its time. I think that it should have fleshed out a little bit more. I think if you're going to resurrect a brand like G4, it is something that gets a YouTube or a Twitch station. It is now the brand. It is not the channel. It's not something that comes on there. You can still have Attack of the Show and bring in some unknown people again. But I don't know if... Like, if you put this on my cable subscription, I had to pay an extra $5 for it. Probably not. But if I already have something that would be tacked onto it, I would watch it. I would definitely be in. But you're not getting any extra money for me for a G4 resurrection. You have to already have me.
Didn't they do... They did a revival of Attack of the Show not too long ago.
Oh, really?
It was on Twitch.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. They did like a 24-hour thing on Twitch. And I don't remember when. I remember watching part of it.
That's the thing. It's I want this, but at the same time, just like you're saying, Josh, there's so many other things that do this. Like, if it's not like a YouTube channel or something that's, low overhead, I don't know where it goes, but I want it. So any way that I can help out with that, let's make that happen. But like, this needs to be done correctly, because if you resurrect this and it doesn't work, this thing does not come back from the dead again. Like, it is over. So I pray that it's done correctly, and I trust that it can be done correctly. So give me...
Well, if they hire me, it will be.
Give me some G4. All right, this next part kind of made me a little sad, but at the same time a little bit happy. Bill and Ted will be going directly to VOD. So
Excellent.
you son of a bitch! I see what you did there.
That's terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You mean that's terrible? That was remotely clever. So Bill and Ted Face the Music will rock on VOD September 1st. So I'm good for this. I'm okay with this.
I wasn't gonna plonk down $12 to go see this.
So
let's be honest.
The only catch to it is that this will arrive both in theaters and on VOD on the same day. So apparently they're also saying, yeah, there'll be some theater open that you could, maybe go see.
Well, if there is a theater open and it's great.
Everyone go get tested for antibodies of COVID. And if you haven't, go see the movies. That's all you have to do. So the reason I bring that up is because of the next part. Now knowing that some movies are going to be doing that. Hey, did you guys hear Tenet got pushed back again? Yeah, well.
Just stop pushing it back by like 3 weeks. Just be like 2021. It's coming out in 2021. Let's like every other big tentpole movie has done it already.
Right.
Disney has delayed all their stuff with the exception, which surprisingly they haven't delayed Black Widow yet again. That's still November. But like Mulan, all the other big stuff delayed, Fast 9 delayed, just everything. We're just going to take 2020, we're going to just throw it in the trash where it belongs, and we're just going to restart in 2021. Like, just stop trying.
Yeah, so
Warner Brothers just hasn't gotten the hint
No,
yet.
they haven't. No.
They just don't get it.
Yep. So AMC has announced that it is planning to reopen its multiplexes beginning mid to late August, instead of what was previously announced, which was supposed to be July 30th, which was, the day before we recorded this. It did not, the chain did not go into details about the announcement, but basically there are 450 movie theaters that are going to be opening at some time in August for an unspecified period of time. My bigger question is, what the hell are you going to show?
In other news, AMC just announced that they'll be closing in like the near future because of this stupidity.
Yeah, well, flash forward to the future, right? And they're going, oh, wait, that was a mistake. Just kidding. Or it's
In other news, you have to sign a waiver every time you go see a movie now at AMC theaters.
I just want to use my annual popcorn bucket. I haven't used it once in regards to a movie.
You don't want the 17-year-old scooping out your popcorn.
Right.
Who doesn't know a thing about proper hygiene because he's going through changes. You don't want him taking care of your popcorn.
But they were always taking care of my popcorn. Should I have reevaluated my popcorn before all of this?
Listen. We all went through that, so we just blocked that shit out of our mind. But now there's something a little bit more serious going on, and I don't trust the kid who thinks deodorant is like a fad to take care of himself so that he doesn't make me sick.
They also said that they're going to be implementing safety protocols for reopening, such as electrostatic cleaning of seats, partnering with Clorox.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know. And of course,
do they just like take a cat and just like rub it on a carpet and just shock like each
It's a
seat?
degausser. They just use a degausser and they hope for the best.
out of any entertainment facility or any entertainment venue, the movie theater was always never clean, right? Always sticky floors, always shit still on the seats, crap thrown about whenever. They never cleaned in between shows.
Always never clean is accurate.
Right.
Listen,
have never taken it seriously.
They cleaned in between shows. Did you not see that same 17-year-old kid not wearing deodorant with his broom and dustpan? That takes It's magic. It cleans everything.
Jungle Gems, they're clearly taking care of them.
Serious, this is I love the theater. This is not a good idea. Don't open, please. Sell yourself to someone if you're in that much trouble. Just don't open.
That's the thing. I miss the movies. I want to go back to the movies.
Nope.
Yeah,
But I'm not doing it.
Too.
But I'm not fucking doing it.
Nope.
Like I get that Tenet's going to come out sometime, right? Unless this thing is gone, which, let's face it, it won't be by the time Chris Nolan's like, fine, whatever, just take it.
It's not.
Go ahead.
I just don't know. I don't know.
I really do worry that there will be no more movie theater to go to. And I want to see Tenet on a big screen. So unless they re-release it at some point,
I don't.
I'm
care
never
at
going to see
all.
this in the movie theater.
I don't even care at all. Just shoot it right to my Apple TV, and I'm fine.
Well, here's the other part. They did announce that Nolan will be premiering in the UK before it comes to the US, which means that, in case you haven't noticed now, Tenet will be the most highly pirated movie of the year because A, spoilers, and B, Americans are very impatient. The Europe doesn't get stuff before us. We get stuff before Europe. And we'll be indignant about it, and we'll demand that we get it.
Yeah, we beat him in the Revolutionary War, and then we bailed him out in World War II. There, so
I don't know what's going on with movies anymore, and it really makes me sad. And I just wanted to, I don't know, figure it shit out. Wear the fucking mask so we can go back to the movies.
I'm just watching a lot of stuff on streaming. I went. You know what? I did go to the drive-in, and saw The Lost Boys for the first time. That was fun, but I'm in my car, so completely away from everybody else.
what do you mean? Saw the Lost Boys for the first time?
Becky's Drive-In is doing old retro movies. I've never seen The Lost Boys.
Me? You never saw the Lost Boys?
Well, now I have, because I went to the drive-in like a week or two ago.
God.
Josh, I've never seen it either.
There's something wrong with you.
Well, I mean, that part's been known. It was not part of my MK Ultra training.
It's got the Coreys. It should be part of your MK Ultra training.
The Coreys, yeah. They had one screen that was Dirty Dancing in Grease, and another screen that was Lost Boys and Christine. And I said to my wife, let's go to the drive-in.
What was it? Dirty Dancing first and then Grease? Because that's
It was Dirty Dancing and then Grease. Yes,
no, that's backwards.
But I said to
No, that's the
her,
right order.
fully expecting Chick Flick Palooza.
Is that the right order,
I don't know,
CJ?
but I
Because you
said-
want to. Go ahead.
I said, which one would you like to see? And she's like, let's go see Lost Boys. I was like, okay. I thought I was going to have to watch Dirty Dancing, but I was very excited.
You want to close strong.
Nothing is stronger than in a drive-in watching a car fly into the sky, and then you close your car and you drive off into the night sky.
Yes. And then we're all experiencing the same fever dream together.
God, Grease is so terrible.
Grease is fine until you get to the end, and you're just like,
It's
what
so-
the fuck?
It's so terrible.
It is very it's also, I mean, it does not date itself. It's a dated movie.
Oh yeah.
It's now time for my favorite hobby, where I go around the internet, I find the weird, I find the obscure, and then I ask these two gentlemen here for their tech perspective. The first thing, I was this close to making a nerd degree, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to the R180 toaster. The R180 toaster is a $300 toaster with many options, but its biggest sell is it's a touchscreen. That's right, it's a 7-inch wide touchscreen. It's basically the size of an iPhone on your toaster.
Can I tweet from it?
Can you tweet from your toaster? I don't think so, Brian, but you can.
I would like to tweet from my toaster. I would like all the Twitterverse to know how much toast I eat and what degrees of toastiness it is.
No, I want an automatic thing that does it. As soon as your toast pops, it says, "Aha! This Brian has just had 2 pieces of toast."
I want a mass notification
Right.
sent out to all of you
Like
when I toast something.
like a woof, right? You want a woof that goes out.
just a nice little, hey, Brian just got made toast.
Right.
Be perfect.
I know you guys are really into your butter dishes and whatnot, so I figured, hey, maybe you guys would be into the toaster that would toast the toast for your butter.
I'm looking at this picture. That's kind of blackish toast, and that's on medium.
They do very very brown toast.
That looks like perfect toast. I would go a little darker.
A little darker than that. Are we talking about the same picture?
Are we talking about the one on the cutting board?
I'm talking about the one on the cutting board. It has a Pop-Tart, a bagel, an
Right.
English
If
muffin,
you check
a
your show
waffle.
notes, listener, I have a picture of the bread right there on it. I do agree, everything there is way too.
Cutting board. The bagel that's perfect for me.
That's way too dark.
Toast. I don't understand why the bottom isn't toasted. Everything here is throw away the Pop-Tart completely and get that fucking waffle.
Oh, come on. Those are good.
Everything else on there is perfect.
A good waffle. Everything's way too dark.
Just a hair.
Zoe and I will eat burnt toast.
Oh,
By choice.
You are a savage.
by
Wow.
choice.
Okay, but look at the next part is, and now your show notes have been updated. Ha! There's screens that show how to what you're putting in there. So bread, bagel, all that,
Yep.
and then the level of doneness.
CJ really wants to explain how a touchscreen toaster works and won't let us comment on the ridiculousness of this.
Seems pretty fucking intuitive to me. I mean,
More importantly, Josh,
yeah.
this pairs with your butter ramps quite well.
I know.
I expect this at your house.
Here's my problem. 2 slots, not 4. Nope, that's not going to work in my house.
That's a deal breaker for you.
If I'm making, all right. So for instance, if
You're making breakfast for the whole
if I'm
family.
making breakfast for the family,
But it's
I-
fast toasting, Josh. You just
no. Then the first person's toast is cold by the time the last person's toast comes out.
That is a true story.
More importantly, if I'm making lunch for the whole family, and I'm talking about a nice lunch, not a shitty lunch, like stacked Thai BLTs or tuna salad with heirloom tomatoes, and I do a fancy aioli and all that shit.
Josh, can you just mail me like lunch and dinner?
The proper way to make a sandwich like that on toast is to take 2 pieces of bread and put them in the same slot so that the outside gets toasty, but the inside stays soft. And when you bite into it, it doesn't squeeze everything out the back. Can't do
That's
that.
genius.
Can't do that for 4 people in this toaster. And for those reasons, I'm out.
I'm looking to see if there is a 4 slice.
There's not. I'm on Amazon looking at it.
Because if there was, you would have bought it. What isn't it? God.
I would have bought it. I would have bought it immediately. There would have been no question. I would need this. But here's the thing.
Does the touchscreen? Is the touchscreen worth it for you though?
I'm fine with the touchscreen, especially because I can't tell you how many times Christian or Laura put their bread in the toaster,
Right.
and it pops, and they're like, "God damn it!"
Right. And then you press it down again. That is the
No,
business of every
no,
toaster.
not press it down again. Zoe and I have it cranked.
No, it's 2 burn because Josh was just eating toast.
Oh, because if
Yeah.
you have fucked up the toaster.
Dude, if I go get fresh bagels right now, like sesame egg bagels, I prefer the savory bagels over the sweet bagels. But if I go get fresh bagels, right,
Right.
I put that shit on and I crank it to 5. Like I want the edges charred. I do. I want a good
You're
crunch.
savage.
This entire conversation is making me just want bagels. Can we? I don't know.
Bagels are delicious.
Do we need a bagel break?
I don't have bagels to have a bagel break.
Why don't you have any bagels? Yeah,
I need to go to the bakery tomorrow and get bagels.
And the thing is, like this fast toasting, I mean, I read the thing, and it seems like rapid toasting, the darkest toast setting takes 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Fine. But like on like any other normal toaster, is your toast really taking longer than like I dropped
Josh, my man,
I dropped the
I'll tell you
I
what.
dropped the toast, I put the eggs in the pan. By the time the eggs are ready, the toast is popped and I've buttered it. Like we're talking about less than 4 minutes.
But see, in most toasters, your number is not the level of doneness; it's the amount of time it takes to pop the toast. It's based on time, not degree of darkness.
I disagree with that completely.
I was today years old when I learned that. But more importantly, Josh.
Yeah.
Hold off. I guarantee you we'll see a 2.0 version of this because they're going to make a toaster that I can tweet from. This one doesn't have any sort of Wi-Fi connected smarts to it. Like, imagine if they made a Wi-Fi connected one and you could connect it to like your HomeKit and like you could have the bread in there and like as you're like waking up or in the shower, you hit a button and it's starting to toast the shit already so that it's popped by the time you get out of the shower. Or you could put it in and then when you're on your way home from the big to-do and you're like, I feel like toast, you could hit the button and toast will be ready for you when you walk in the door. They're going to make a new one of this.
All right, but look it for $50, there are Cuisinart models that have an LED screen where you can set your level of doneness.
Correct.
It's 7 different shade settings. as well as having a defrost button. So if you have
This has one too.
No, I understand that. What I'm saying is this is 16.6667% of the price.
Right. Yes. Here's my bigger
Sending.
question and my bigger complaint. Brian, how come every time we're talking about a topic, you find a way to redo what it should be instead of what it is? Okay.
Because I'm an innovator, CJ. All companies should hire me.
Yes, they should totally have a place where you can take your loaf of bread, put it in a special container, it grabs 2 pieces of toast and puts it in for you. Because if you just have the toast overnight, the toast is now stale by the morning.
He's got that Doc Brown toast system where
He wants a bread box toaster. He wants something where I buy a loaf of bread, I put it in the bread box, and then I say, I want toast. And the toaster's like, I got you, Bo. And it pulls out 2 pieces of toast and it cooks it. That's not what we're talking about.
Every company needs to hire me as a consultant. That's all I'm saying. I have fixed multiple products on this show. I have definitely fixed the DC universe on this show.
You definitely have.
Let's just hire me.
Josh, here's my question. Are the heating elements in your toaster the same ultra super 2020 version of this toaster that they're touting about? They're really just saying, this ain't your grandpa's toaster. Not the fact that it has a touchscreen, it's those fucking coils. That's where the money's at.
Okay, does it tell you? Does it give us like the temperature setting for those elements? Do we know? And I'm asking because I've taken the IR gun to my toaster when there's stuff in there, and that shit's 600 degrees in there. So
I'm not deep diving into this. I would love the people of Revolution Cooking to maybe tell us, because I don't know.
The elements in my cheap ass toaster get up to like 600 degrees.
Because they look like a honeycomb. They look different than like the strips of bacon that are inside a regular toaster.
No, they don't.
So if there was a 4 slicer though, you'd be in for this?
If there were a 4 slicer, I would seriously consider it. But again, it's I can do the same thing for a whole lot less. Like the toaster isn't where I'm going to invest my money.
Right. Okay.
That is not the cooking implement
that you really want to invest
in which
right?
I'm investing. No,
they're like, buy good knives. No. Buy a good toaster. That's
the
where
thing.
you're fucking.
And I won't even buy, like, for the most part, I won't even buy good knives. I buy knives at like, Sam's Club or Costco, and I just keep them really, really fucking sharp.
I hear
and I take
Craig
good care of them.
Newcomb yelling at you, and I just want you to know I'm not yelling at you.
He wouldn't yell at me.
Oh, good, because you're taking care of the knives that you have.
That's right.
Okay,
and because any knife is a good knife if you keep it sharp. That's the truth.
Here's my other question for you. If this was a 4-slot toaster, knowing that a 2-slotter starts at $349, what does a 4-slot toaster have to retail for?
$399. I mean,
okay. That's it.
I don't think you can upcharge by double. Like I don't see any reason to upcharge more than 15%.
I'd buy that for $1.
Yeah. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen, as I Revolution Cooking, as I'm saying, I would love to let's talk toasters, but also, hey, if you ever want to hire some consultants, right here, market research, we did it for you.
Who's we? Just me. I make everything better.
Excuse me, Josh sat there and literally broke out the fucking math. All right, I get you. You're the idea guy. I get that, but he cracked out the math.
Listen. Like I'll let the hacks and marketing worry about pricing. I make things better. All right.
My final thing for Tech Perspective is something that I definitely know Brian and I can gush about for another hour or so, but we'll keep it short. Official word has come down, Brian, that in November there will be a sequel to Ready Player One titled Ready Player 2.
Really? Do they have a kid or something? Because that would be lame.
Would you
they
like
have
to
a kid instead of 80s nostalgia? It's all 90s nostalgia.
Dude, I'm not joking. I would absolutely love to watch a 90s nostalgia version of Ready Player One. Give me a 90s thing, but that world wouldn't exist. There wouldn't be love for the 90s because they were obsessed with the 80s the whole time.
That's not true. The 90s had its own style.
So Ready Player 2 will be launching in North America November 24th. The original Ready Player 1 was published back in 2011. Was also a blockbuster movie made by Steven Spielberg. I'm in love with this book and with Ernest Cline. Will Wheaton does the audiobook if you're into that.
Will Wheaton.
I'm just super excited for this. I did love Armada as well. What do you think, though, Ready Player 2? Knowing nothing about it, I legitimately don't know the premise or the plot.
I don't know where you go with that story.
It was pretty clear.
It seemed like everything was fixed at the end.
It did.
It's like, we found the key. We now control the Oasis. Everything's great again. Like, I don't know. I'll be interested to see where it goes.
I mean, you could always do it from another character's perspective.
Yeah, that's dumb. I mean,
I'm trying to look up if there's any plot.
It's the creator. He's writing it. It's not like he rushed it out to try and strike to make sure it coincided with the movie release or anything. Yeah. So like, clearly he's got a story to tell. So I mean, if he's got one in him, yeah, I'll read it. I read Ready Player One, highly enjoyed it. I listened to Armada, highly enjoyed it. I'm down.
I mean, waiting the amount of time that he did in between this, right? Again, 2011 was when the book came out. He definitely has something to say. I am very intrigued, and definitely curious to see what they can do. I am, just like you said, a little perplexed as to where you go, but okay, all right. I'll certainly take it. Josh, I know Brian and I probably encouraged you to read it or told you to read it. Have you ever cared about Ready Player One?
No, I didn't see the movie. I didn't read the book. Christian loved it.
Oh, I did recommend that Christian.
Yeah,
yes,
did.
Yeah, and he loved it. It's just not. I don't think I'll ever watch it.
Oh, Brian, I also can't leave though without doing one other thing, and it's a thank you, because you were right.
About what this time?
I started watching Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix.
It's so good.
So I was like, let's see what's up with this. I remember it being on TV and I was never really into it. Let's see if this show holds up. I am on season 3. I'm almost at the end.
Oh wow, you're almost
I'm
done.
almost done, dude. Like, I devour this shit. But what I really like about the show is there are several episodes where I'm emotionally really moved.
Yeah.
Going, this is a fucking kid show from Nickelodeon. Why am I crying?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is so nice, and
it
has
definitely
so much
gets
to
you in the
say.
feels.
And, oh my god! So the hype is real. I believe the Legend of Korra is also coming to Netflix as well.
Good. I really enjoy Korra. It's not the level that Last Airbender is, but it's still really
a continuation of the story. But since we're talking about Ready Player One getting a sequel, I will talk about the fact that I definitely approve Avatar. On Netflix, it is really, really good, and sometimes swing a little bit harder than it should, than it has a right to. But it's fantastic, so definitely gets my recommendation. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
All right, well, Revolution. Let's talk about toasters. That's my big takeaway from today. Well, listeners,
I thought you were like screaming for a revolution at them. Like, what are you rebelling against?
Viva la revolution and touchscreen toast. Well, listener, thank you so much for making us whatever it is that we are to you right now in your life. We hope that at least we're a distraction for the better, and we bring you some joy out of your life.
Even if that is your time on the John.
Right, so Revolution Toasters, get up to us. G4, you know where we're at. And thanks so much for making us whatever we are, and we'll talk to you next week.
Well, welcome to the club, because you are that kind of nerd.
Yeah, baseball's back. It's been that, and my Steelers tickets have gotten refunded, so that happened. So I was really looking forward to doing that.
No, you weren't. Don't lie.
But you can't. There's going to be no spectators.
No, I really was looking forward to going.
Don't forget. Listen, CJ. Your wife doesn't listen to the show. You don't need to fake it.
No, I really wanted to go to Heinz Field and watch the Steelers game, the Steelers versus Eagles. I wanted to see that.
It's a good experience.
And I wanted to go around Pittsburgh. I wanted to be in the air. I wanted to get the fuck out of, the Lehigh Valley where we live and just fucking do something.
Where you live. What is the problem with what is so wonderful about doing things? I do things all the time. I watch Netflix. I play games. I'm almost 30% of the way through Red Dead Redemption after a month and a half. It's been wonderful.
I keep telling like Laura or anyone I speak with, look, this is okay. I'm super productive at work from home.
Oh yeah.
And there's so much gross germs out there that I don't need to be anywhere.
Right.
I don't need to be anywhere but right here. Ever, really.
Josh,
Yeah.
Josh.
Yeah.
This weekend on screen 1 is The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles.
Ooh, that's a good lineup.
I will say this.
What's on the other
Bring-
screen?
The 2016 Jungle Book and Star Wars Episode 7.
No, that's
Yeah, no. See,
Which,
I mean, you go
it's-
see Breakfast Club and then you flip over can you do that?
Yeah, absolutely. You can flip screens. And Josh, like they have spray painted lines. They're like 10 or 12 feet apart. So like you are required to stay in front of your car if you're going to do like lawn chairs and stuff,
Yeah.
or inside your car. Snack bar is open, but they're only letting, a certain amount of people in at a time.
Oh, but you're
And
okay getting the
obviously-
17-year-old popcorn there. All right, I see how it is.
No,
I
you gotta
did not.
take your snacks.
You know what you do because it's the drive-in. You fill up a cooler
Yeah.
filled with freaking food. Which is what we
You
did.
get your Kung Pao chicken.
You get your Kung Pao chicken.
Get my Red Robin.
I brought we grabbed hoagies from Wawa. I bought like a bunch of like pre-made popcorn from like the grocery store. I got peanut butter M&Ms and Sour Patch Kids, and we just packed it all in.
No wonder why you just got a
and-
Peloton. Jesus.
Well, we didn't eat it all that night. God, dude.
Wait, you're telling me
restrooms?
you sat through 4 hours of movies and you didn't eat all that?
No, we didn't. I still have a whole bag of the popcorn left over.
Hey, proud of you. Proud of you.
Thanks. The restrooms are being manned by a person, and like before you go in, they poke their head in. They go, "Okay, you go to there, and you do your business. You wash, and
See
they're
a
like-
man in a yellow poncho. His name is
they're
Hank. He'll
yeah.
tell
You
which
see,
urinal to use.
you get to the poncho guy. I mean, they're doing pretty well. Just if you're interested, but
I want to make sure this is where it has a mask on. It says wear a fucking mask so I can go to the movies. That's what I need. Wear a fucking mask so I can go to the movies. All right, this is now time
a
for my
mask is not helping you in the movie theater.
No, wear a mask so this whole thing's fucking over. So that way
Oh.
I can go to the goddamn movies. Yeah. Don't wear a mask while you're in. Don't like if mask is the only defense, no movies. Right? If mask, no can defend.